Well, hello there, konnichiwa, good morning to you all. So now I will bring the review of Bleach 546 called The Last 9 Days. Uh, and basically the title almost appeared at the end of the chapter. So this chapter was interesting because, like I say, I'm not so sure if I did it on my review video or of last week or on my predictions discussion video. But I do talk on one of my previous videos about what could happen to Ishigo, what could be the meaning behind the words of Kirako on last chapter, and I speculated a little bit about what could be. And one of the hypotheses that I presented, it was related with the powers of Ishigo, and that something might happen that could prevent him to return to his human body, his human form. In this case, as Kiraku explained in this chapter, and the talking between Kiraku and Ishigo's friends covers the first half of this chapter. Uh, Basically, Kiraku explains that he does not know what kind of power Ishigo will have at the end of his trip, even if he does not explain to them exactly what trip he is doing and where he is. He only says that he is in a special place inside society. So, and that the level of power he could obtain could be enough to disturb the balance, and basically since the main mission of the Shinigami is to keep the, the balance the balance between the human world and society, if Ishigo, due to his level of power, became a factor of instability and that could harm the human reality, makes sense that he will be enabled to return to his human body, to his human life. Even if Kiraku though says that there is a small chance for this to happen, nonetheless he wanted to explain this to Ishigo's friends, and that was a good gesture, I think. And I think that the only one that understand what exactly he is saying was Mizuhiro, um, because Keigo did go crazy. Arisawa, well, we did not see her having any kind of manifestation, but um, and basically at the end of the conversation, Kira kind of hands over to them three tickets, soul tickets. Basically, they are an in for them to visit Ishigo if he is unable to return to the human world. Basically, it's kind of a pass that allows them to travel to society and visit Ishigo. And he also explains that he already sent the same to Ishigo's family. Uh, and that's the explanation. It was good that Kubo did make, make it, and well, I was quite pleased that he kept that up. But nonetheless, I'm kind of then disappointed, but I later on will address this. And then the second part of the chapter basically is a small talk between Orihime and Shad that are in Legomundo, and basically Orihime is saying that she wanted to continue doing this stuff, kinda helping Eren characters, helping Shinigami, and have all the three places in peace and in cooperation in a way or in another. But Sado though refers to her that basically how could she say this because they are training there in Lecomundo for war. So but she says that she knows, but it will be great if that could happen, or if that happened in the future without the need to battle each other. So, okay, we learned that Orihime and Sado indeed did go to that ruins to train, and that was also the second step point that kind of disappointed me a little. And then finally we go to Soul Society, and something is happening in Soul Society. There is a great distortion inside the Serete, and basically the Shinigami see that the buildings of the Serete disappeared, and basically they were being overrun by the place where the Ice Palace is and where the Ice Palace exists. So, could this be the reason why the Quincy's kind of distorted the path between the human world and the Serete for them to kind of swap places with the Serete? Is that the final goal of the Vandenreich and of Jua? Basically become him himself Soul Society? But, and basically then we see Jua, Uryu and Archibald, and Jua basically is telling that the second invasion was a success. And he asks Uryu if he knows the legend of the Quincy's, and Uryu says yes, and says the legend that after 900 years he will regain his heart. After 19 years he will regain his mind, and after 9 years he will regain his body. And then Jua kind of adds on that there is more to that song, and in 9 days he takes the world, and basically that's the situation. Apparently the Ice Palace and the Vandenreich place is kind of swapping places with Soul Society and the Celebrate through some dimensional rift or something like that. And probably that was the reason why the Quincy's, because even if not explained, it's kind of hinted that probably the Quincy's were the ones that did it, that distorted the path between the human world and Soul Society, and basically their goal is to they became Soul Society. Apparently that's the goal. And then we have a bad news, but apparently Bleach will go on hiatus, so that's kind of a bother. Nonetheless, what did disappoint me on this chapter? Yes, we did learn what happened during the talk with Kyoraku and Ishigo's friends. That was good. Uh, but for instance, in Lecomundo, why Google continues to not show us what's going on? They only show us Orihime and Saddle, and they are training, yes, but I was kind of expecting to know or to learn what is this Arrancar army in a way that is being arranged in Wekomundo, and who are the ones that take part on this strike force, this invasion force. So this kind of gives a bad aftertaste in my mouth, in my opinion, because I was kind of expecting that those show us a little more on the Mundo. Also, I kind of hope to see more stuff about Soul Society, what's going on, and so on, but he only showed us that there will be a swap between the Vandenreich and the Serotei. Okay, we did see Ecken, but I wanted to see the end of the fight of Kamamura. I wanted to see some more stuff about Soul Society that still needs to be explained, but well, none. But well, I need to have patience, I guess. So, but kind of disappointed me a little bit on that regard. Nonetheless, we have story progression. In fact, because apparently there is in the end of this chapter, this is already the second invasion, but there was story progression. However, I'm kinda not too happy about it because apparently a lot of stuff happened off panel, and that kinda bothers me. Like how the Quincy's did it, how they set this up, um, is the goal of the Quincy's and the Vanderreich to swap places with Soul Society, and then they become Soul Society in a way. Um, a lot of stuff happened off panel, and I'm not pleased by that. Nonetheless, we see story progression. We see that now is the time for the second invasion. Nonetheless, this kind of well, it kind of bothers me a little, a little. This chapter is kind of bothers me a little on several levels. Nonetheless, the chapter was not bad, uh, and it was regular one, I will say. Nonetheless, I'm not too pleased because I think that a lot of stuff is happening off panel and or already happened off panel, and I'm not too fond of these situations. Um, but perhaps I do hope that in the list we do see some flashback about how they set up the invasion, what they did, how they make it, and something like that, because it's kinda explanation will be appreciated. So that's it basically. This is my review for Bleach 546, the last 9 days. So hope you enjoyed the video. Stay well, peace, and as always, if you have your own ideas, comments, thoughts on the chapter, please leave them on the comment below. So stay well, peace, see you soon.